Greetings to the 12 tribes of Yasharala that are scattered to the four corners of the world. I am back with another video. And just to give you all a heads up, I am at sitting outside at a coffee house. Um, I have been thinking about the last video that I made. Well, the one in regards to a coming judgment and the blood moon meaning the coming judgment, and we discussed verses in Joel and Amos and Revelations 6 and in the book of Acts. But I have still been thinking about it. One of someone that viewed the video put a note saying that the enemy or the planet that is losing its rings represents the enemy losing his wings. So we know that the planet Saturn represents the adversary, just like Jupiter represents Ahayasha. So I was thinking about it, and along with the other signs that we discussed, as far as the the eclipse that took place, um, the planet losing its rings, a meteor shower that took place the day after, and then there's another eclipse coming up on the 29th. And so I'm just thinking, instead of Revelation 6, it dawned on me Revelations 12. And I'm going to read Revelations 12, and let's discuss that, you all, because I mean we could be in way, way further times than we thought. So let me go ahead and share my screen, and we can read Revelations 12 together. Let's see if I can move this over. I'll just move it down here. Okay. So Revelations 12 and 1 says, and there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. And she, being with child, cried, travailing in birth and pain to be delivered. And there appeared, okay, so let's just stop right there before I go any further. We know that this woman represents Yasharala, and the crown of 12 stars upon her head represents the 12 tribes. Okay, and verse 3 says, there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon having 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns upon his heads. So once again, what we know, this is representative or discussing the adversary. All right. Verse 4 says, his tail drew the third part of the stars from heaven and did cast them into the earth, and the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered to devour her child as soon as it was born. So we know that that the enemy, as soon as Ahayasha was born, Herod, which is of the bloodline of the red dragon, was hunting for Ahayasha, and then decided to, when he realized that he had been duped by the wise men and that they did not return to tell him where Ahayasha was, he set out in order to destroy all the Hebrew babies. And so Revelations 12 and 5 says, and she brought forth a man child who was to rule all nations with the rod of iron, and her child was caught up to Elohim and to his throne. And so the woman fled into the wilderness where she had a place prepared of Elohim, and that they should feed her there 1,203 score days. And forgive me for these cars that are going by here. And there was a war in heaven, Michael and his angels against the dragon, and the dragon fought with his angels and prevailed not, neither was their place found anymore in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent, which deceived the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. So after I read this, we'll just discuss it more. Verse 10, and I heard a loud voice saying, now is come the salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power and the power of his of Yeshua. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our Elohim day and night. And they overcame him by one, the blood of Ahayasha, and by the word of their testimony. And they loved not their lives unto the death. So how do we overcome? By the blood of Ahayasha, not the blood of Jesus, the blood of Ahayasha is the only blood that will save you. That's the only name that you can be saved in. All right. And the word of their testimony, and by living your life not unto death, or not living your life unto death. So remember, a few years back, the Bible says that they who save their life will lose it, but they who lose their life will find it. So remember, a few years back, we had some people that were bamboozled, and they thought that they were ill, and they were told to that they were sick and possibly could unto the death. And so they went and took drunk the Kool-Aid in order to save themselves. Okay, but those people have actually been losing their lives instead of saving their lives. And those who refuse to do so are willing to find are willing to find eternal life. And my particular job that I was working at the time offered us $1,000 bonus, and I said no. And then they said, well, $2,000 bonus, and I said no. And then they said, okay, $2,000 bonus and an extra vacation day, and it was still no. And I recall just saying, I don't care if it's $1 million. I'm not doing it. So and then eventually, that's how I end up losing my job as well, because when I refused that, I was told that I would need to take weekly tests in order to keep my job, and I refused to do that as well. So anyway, let me keep going. So those who did not love their lives unto death. So verse 12 says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the enemy has come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knows that he has but a short time. And when the dragon saw that he was cast unto the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man child. And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place where she is nourished for a time and a half time from the face of the serpent. So 3.5 years. The serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood. All right. And the earth helped the woman and swallowed and opened up her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth. And the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of Elohim and have the testimony of Ahayasha Yeshaya. Um, so let's it's a lot to take in here. So we know on Friday we had the blood moon. On Saturday we had the like what we it was Thursday night to Friday, the blood moon, then we had the meteor shower, and we had all these things that are have taken place and are going to take place within a 2 week span between now and the 29th. So what I did was I was thinking about I'm so sorry. Okay, I was thinking about this Revelation 12 sign actually took place September 23rd, 2017. This sign in heaven, uh the woman that was to, looking at to deliver a child, all the planets were aligned. She had the and the Leo lion sign also took took place September 2017, September 23rd of 2017. So I remember that. So what I did was I went to time and date calculator, and first of all, before I go there, I want to show you in the book of Enoch. I remember, so that was 7 years ago, from September 23rd, 2017 to September 23rd, 2024 was 7 years. And so, okay, so we're the 3.5 years or the time and a half of time. That was the 7 years right there. But I remember in the book of Enoch, remember I told you all that the way I started following the calendar is given here in the book of Enoch, chapter 78. I'm not going to read the whole chapter. You all read it for yourselves. But I wanted to focus on where it talks about how the moon goes 3 months of 30 days and then 3 months of 29 days. How she wings goes on a waning moon or whatnot to a full moon. But every 6 months she passes through the portal 177 days. So we should not be following the moon alone. We should be following both the sun and the moon. And so anyway, so you divide the year up into 177 days from spring to around September and 177 days. So when I saw that the 177 days, I'm sorry, when I saw that the 7 years was September 2024, I added 177 days on the date and time calculator. So I simply went up and I plugged in 9/17. Right. Yeah, 9/17/2024. And I added 177 days. And it gave me Thursday, March 13th, 2025. When did that eclipse take place? Dates March 13th, 2025 to March 14th, 2025. So hey, I know I've been seeing every day, every day I've been seeing 11:11 and 1:11. So I'm like, okay, Most High, uh, he's on the way. Like it's a sense of urgency. And I believe that he's also letting us know because it says here in verse 17 that the dragon was wroth with the woman. Who was the woman? Yasharala, who went and he went to make war with the remnant of her seed and to keep who keep the commandments of Elohim and who have the testimony of Ahayashi Yeshaya. So I think that we are in that period. I think the Most High is on the way, and I think that possibly that sign that we saw on March 14th, along with uh the media shower, we know that although the fallen were here, they were still able to appear before the Most High. They still had to give an account. We know we can go back to Job for that when the adversary appeared before the Most High and he asked him where was he coming from, and he said he had been walking to and fro in the earth seeking whom he could devour, and the Most High asked him, have you considered my servant Job? So there was a time that they would be, let me just stop sharing for a second. So there was a time in the earth that the enemy would be able to um still appear before the Most High. But then there was going to be a time where the enemy and the third part of the heavenly host that followed him were going to be kicked out and no longer have access. They know when that happens that their time is short, so they're going to amp up um persecution or coming against the Most High's chosen people. And so it may seem like a stretch, but I really think that we could be there. That we know that Ahayasha said in the book of Luke that he saw the adversary fall as lightning from heaven. We know that when meteorites fall to this earth, those are fallen angels. And so he could, that meteor shower that took place after that moon, that blood moon, could very well be, um, you know, the adversary and the 1/3 of the angels going ahead and getting sealed or kicked out. Then we know that they've already been here, but they've been able to go back and forth. They know when they completely lose access that their time is short. And so they're going to amp up or really crank up the persecution against the Most High's chosen. And so we know that we were just told three things: those who love their life not to the death, and who had the who overcame by the blood of the lamb and the word of their testimony. Those are the three ways that it says that we will overcome. So anyway, that's just I'm not saying that that is what is taking place, but there's a lot of coincidences just going on right now. And so hey, maybe is this what's happening? We don't know. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. You all have a blessed evening. Shalom until the next video.